Hi everyone, this is Anna over here making a video today in response to Elena's comment. And Elena wanted to know how to deal with your anger after a discard. My discard was a little bit different because I actually was the one who broke up with the Narc. I still call it a discard because it was something that I was pushed to do. So I know for a fact he had already thought everything out. Remember, narcs know your limits. They know how far they can push you. So by the time they push you to break up with them, trust and believe they had everything thought out and well planned before that happens. So even though you think you discarded the narc, if you did, I can almost guarantee you they had planned for you to do that. So it was their idea. The breakup, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but the breakup was their idea, whether you broke it off or not. Because I remember thinking, yeah, I broke it off with him. I broke it off with him. And it wasn't until I actually sat down and thought, he wanted the outcome. And they do that because it's easier for them to come back when they push you to break up with them. See, if they push you to break up with them, then when they hoover you, they'll act all innocent and then say, well, you were the one who broke up with me. I didn't do anything wrong. It was your decision, remember? Anyhow, back to the anger. How this ties up is because my anger, I know for a fact, would have been greater had he just walked away. I think my level of anger was less because I felt I was more in control of the situation, because I was the one who asked them to leave and I was the one who ended the relationship. However, I still had anger, as anybody, because I was not expecting things to end in the way that they ended. And you know, when you're with a narc, it doesn't matter how things end, you know for sure when they end, they're going to end ugly. And that's exactly what happened. And I was not expecting that. So of course I had anger. How did I deal with my anger? Immediately after the breakup, I'm not even going to lie, I texted, emailed. I was angry. My anger showed. I let my anger out, honey. But I didn't know about narcissism. I did not know in that moment what I was up against. I knew something was off, but I didn't know that it was narcissism. So in that moment, that's how I dealt with my anger, which was wrong because I was giving him what he wanted. Anytime that you text a narc, email a narc, explain your feelings and your pain and your hurt and your anger, they're loving it because that's what they wanted. So you're giving them what they wanted. If you show that anger, if you show those emotions, honey, they're going to love it. So that's that one thing not to do. That's the one thing you should not do. How do you deal with your anger? I'm going to tell you what I did that worked for me. I used to write stuff down. Once I found out about narcissism and, you know, how critical it was to go no contact, I stopped the emails. I stopped the text. Unless it was about my daughter. If it was up because we have a child together. So once I knew that I'm giving him what he wants, every time I text an email, I cut all of that out. And I started writing my emotions. I started, you know, sometimes I would write them. Sometimes I would just sit, you know, with myself, with my thoughts, with my anger. Because sometimes we need to do that. Sometimes it's not about running away from our emotions, running away from the anger. Sometimes we need to sit in the anger, we need to sit in the pain and experience it. As long as we're not, you know, harming ourselves or others, we can sit down and ask ourselves, why are we angry in this moment? Why am I angry right now? I'm angry because I'm hurt. Because honestly, that's really where anger comes from. It's from pain, it's from hurt. And we need to feel those emotions. We need to feel that anger. Sometimes we just need to sit there and feel it and cry it out. And cry it out. Have some good cries. Other times, when I was feeling angry, I would get up and walk. I would walk and burn those calories, honey. I would walk and just burn. I was so, mad, but I didn't want to contact him. And I didn't want to give him that type of satisfaction of, you hurt me. Every time, because they get a satisfaction when you text them, because they want you to be hurt. They want you to be hurt. So that's the one thing you should not do. When you're angry, go for a walk. That helped me. I walked a lot. Exercise. Like I said, sit with your anger. Feel those emotions. Feel those feelings. Journal. But there comes a time also when you have to stop yourself from the anger and feeling angry. I know many times I had to stop myself and say, you know what, enough is enough. Let's move on from the anger. I had to stop myself many times because honestly, I got tired of being angry some days. Some days I'm like, I was like, I'm not doing this today. I'm not dealing with the anger. And I had to stop myself. Because there's a time to deal with the anger. There's a time to feel the anger. There's a time when you need to stop also. And you need to tell yourself, this is not healthy. When you continue hanging on to something that you know is unhealthy. So at some point, I don't know what that point is because we're all different, but we are individuals and we know ourselves better than anybody. So we'll know when it's time to move on from the anger and let go and, start living our lives as we were before the narc came into our lives. There's a point where we have to let go of the anger. We have to, because that anger will kill us. So feel, express, and let go. That's how you handle. Those are the steps. There's no set time because, like I told somebody earlier today, we're very different. We're individuals. What works for me might not work for you. But I feel like anytime we're able to express ourselves, even if we can find a person that you can trust and talk about your feelings, talk about your anger, talk about what's, bothering you, those emotions. Sometimes just talking to somebody helps a great deal. If you cannot express it through writing, through talking, through physical activity, maybe you can find other ways, because like I said, we're all very different. We're all very different. What works for me might not work for you. But I do know that at some point we just have to let go of the anger so that we can live our lives the way that we want to, because we deserve that. If we stay angry, if we stay, just thinking about our pain and our anger and reliving our lives with the narcs, we're never gonna move on.